Hello grade 9s, I'm just going to do an overview of the paper that was written in June. Okay, so first thing there, complete the following T accounts. Now T account is an account that's in the general ledger of Timber City Traders. Okay, now we've got a couple of sections of this question. The first part that we need to use information from is the opening balances, and then we've got the journals. Now take a look at the date of the opening balances. That's the first day of the specific month. That is also the balance that was left on the 31st of May, the previous day. And then we bring it over to the next day, which is the 1st of June. Okay, this means on the 1st of there was 70,000 Rand in the bank account, or there was 200,000 Rand contributed by the owner on this day. So far, of all his contributions, everything added will add up to 200,000 on the 1st of June. Stationery, of all the stationery bought so far during the financial year, the 40,000 Rand was the amount that was bought so far during the year. Okay, so that's opening balances. Then we have the cash receipts journal and the cash payments journal. Receipts journal, I'm receiving money in the bank. Cash payments journal, I'm paying money out of the bank account. Okay, right. Now, this is for the month of June. So this is a summary of what happened in June. That is a summary of what happened before the month of June to have an opening balance, and this is what happened in the month of June. Okay, just a couple of things before we do each T account separately. Cash payments journal, CRJ, bank account is the total of everything that was in the bank account, that went through the bank account. And what did we receive? We received rent income and we received capital on the 10th. Okay, if we add these two together, that question mark will add up to 100,000 Rand. Okay, 100,000 Rand. Okay, so that was the amount if we add the two together to get to the 100,000 Rand. Cash payments journal, the bank account is everything added. So then that means that the stationery must be the missing figure there. So 50,000 minus 20,000 will give me the 30,000 Rand. Okay, one last thing before, last couple of things before we go on to the questions. Remember, bank will be a asset account, okay? And opening balances of assets accounts are normally on the debit side. Why do I say that? If I look, assets normally a plus on the debit side. So wherever asset is, bank is a form of an asset. So that means that on the left hand or debit side, the opening balance of 70,000 in the end will be. Capital, again, is owner's equity. Stationery is also owner's equity. So what is the rule for owner's equity? Owner's equity, opening balances will depend, will be on a specific side depending on what kind of owner's equity this is. Capital is makes the owner's equity more, and on the right hand or credit side, the opening balance will become more, or capital will become more. So capital will have a credit opening balance. Same for stationery. Stationery is an expense. It makes the owner's equity less. That means stationery will normally have a debit opening balance because it decreases the owner's equity. Okay, so that's opening balances. Then the other thing over here is that in the cash receipts journal, bank becomes more. Assets, as we said, becomes more on the debit side. That means that bank will be debited and all the other accounts in the cash receipts journal will be credited. Now to look at this again, rent income and capital are both things that makes the owner's equity of the business more, and you can see the plus is always on the credit side. That's another reason why we should credit these two accounts. We should take it to these accounts on the credit side. The CPJ is the other one. CPJ or bank is an asset, okay, and assets will be credited. Why? Because it decreases if we pay money out. So on the credit or right hand side, the cash payments journal becomes less, or sorry, the bank account becomes less because we're paying money out. All the other accounts in the CPJ will be debited. Now we can also see here, stationery is what kind of account? It's an owner's equity account, and it makes the money of the business less, so that's another reason why it's debited. Equipment is an asset account. Now, if we bought something, the equipment becomes more, and that is why equipment gets debited. So that's just a bit of an overview before we go to the specific accounts.